don't know how many of you are familiar with the history of the United Nations and Rotary, but when the United Nations began, Rotary was there. And as the United Nations has developed, Rotary has been doing so right alongside. You might recognize that our organization, Rotary, is in pursuit of peace, pursuit of health, a healthy populace around the world, water projects. And guess what? The United Nations was founded to do all of those things as well, in particularly the peace number. So while they get paid for it, we do it voluntarily. I think we get a lot more out of it. But that nexus, that connection between the United Nations and Rotary ought not to be lost. It continues. Each year we have a Rotary UN Day in New York at the United Nations, at which Rotary clubs from all over the United States and all over the world come to the United Nations to get together and share their ideas about peace and eliminating hunger and thirst and a lack of sanitation around the world. So we share that goal with the United Nations. We still share it. I don't know how much there is on the Rotary website. There's some publications, but the United Nations concept was first officially used in 1942. The war's still going on. The U.S., England, and Russia, then the Soviet Union, got together to figure out how we as a world full of nations, can pursue peace. So the war is raging. 1944, still going on. Representatives from China and the Soviet Union, Great Britain, came to Washington, D.C. Maybe you all have heard of a place called Dunbarton Oaks. Well, there was a tremendous event at Dunbarton Oaks at which these founding nations, these beginning nations, got together and tried to put together the beginnings of the United Nations. It continued after that, 45, in San Francisco, when the group that actually signed and formed and drew up the charter for the United Nations got together. April to June of 45, delegations from 50 nations around the world attended the UN Conference on International Organization in San Fran. Rotary International was one of 42 organizations in the United States invited to serve as consultants in this process. We had 11 representatives who participated in the process of organizing, of creating the United Nations. Other Rotarians from Africa, Asia, Europe, North and South America also served as members of their own nations' delegations to that conference. So